Welcome to Toe to Toe, a podcast for realtors where you'll witness a battle of opinions about topics affecting your real estate business. There are many ways for realtors to achieve success. The secret is to find which approach will work for you. Now, always in your corner, here are your hosts, Jen Mertland and Monica Weekly.
Welcome to another episode of Toe to Toe. I'm Jennifer Mertland, and I'm here with my constant opponent, Monica Weekly. Yeah! Exactly. Each episode, we choose a different real estate topic to battle about, and we go toe to toe, arguing our differing opinions.
And here, as always, is our number one goal. It is to help you, the fearless realtor, to find the path that feels authentic to you. Then you can feel really confident as you build your business and ultimately the life that you want. So today, Jen and I are going to throw it down and duke it out over this question. Is it a good idea or a bad idea for an agent to join a team? It's a good idea or a bad idea for an agent to join a team. Jen, is this a question or what?
I like it. Let's throw down. Are you going first?
No, you're going first. Let's do it.
All right.
What's your point of view here?
My POV, as they say, is, well, I think that we should actually have an apprentice training program, which I don't know exactly what that would look like, but I'm going to go with yes, I think they should join a team, especially agents that are newly licensed that may or may not have like little to maybe no sales skills, and they certainly don't know real estate, most of them. Now, of course, like there are those exceptions of people that have been, doing something in the real estate industry their whole lives, and maybe they're an exception, but I just don't think that's the main people that get their license. So it's usually they saw HGTV and they thought it looked simple.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You talk about this apprenticeship program.
Yeah.
So is your argument from the standpoint of new agents in the business only, or what if I've been licensed for 5 years and I haven't had any luck on my own? Should I join a team?
I don't think you should join a team because you haven't had any luck. I think that's like getting married to save on taxes. Like it's just not a good reason. So I think in that case, like if you've already been licensed, you really need to take a look and see what's really going on. And I would start with a coach before I joined the team.
Got it. Okay. Invest in yourself versus...
really find out like, why aren't you doing well? Like what is the problem? In my experience, it's mostly lack of sales skills, and it's a lack of consistently doing the work. Because a lot of people, not most, sorry for the generalizations, but a number of people get into real estate because they think they can be their own boss, but then they forget to work.
Right. So you've been in business long enough to answer this question. Just because somebody runs a team, do you think that makes them a good leader and a good trainer? Okay. So we get these newbies and they join these teams, right?
Yeah.
And they learn from the team lead or the other people on the team. And sometimes that's great. Sometimes that works.
Right.
However, my experience tells me of all the teams I've ever been a part of in any way, shape, or form, close enough to be able to judge, 80% of them maybe are lacking major leadership from the top.
Because you were never on my team.
Hey. Sorry. Why didn't you have me on your team? Just kidding. You see what I'm saying? Like, I guess I disagree with you only because of that. Now, if you would say to me, and I could be assured that any agent that joins a team will be led down the path to success with great habits and allowed to explore their authenticity and what that looks like for them and where they can find success by being themselves, like, sure, why not be on a team? The reality in my mind is that doesn't exist. And therefore, I see people join teams out of scarcity.
Yeah, I agree.
And panic.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be fed. And that only lasts so long. And then inevitably they either A, outgrow the team and say, wow, shit, I'm giving you way too much money and I'm procuring my own leads now. So hasta la vista. Or they just continue to flounder about and never learn the skill of running their own real estate business, which is why they got into the business in the first place, because now they're a freaking employee. I used to tell agents that when they asked me, should I join this team? I said, do you want to be an employee? Because that is what you're doing. And you've run a team,
well,
right?
I think it depends on the type of team, because I feel like our team runs it's more of a democracy than it is like a dictatorship. So like everybody has their value and their position on the team and they have ownership of that. I also think I'm going to disagree with you on this point that just because you're on a team doesn't mean that you don't have to go feed yourself. Like you can't just expect to be handed everything and then expect to keep all the money too. Like that makes no sense in any reality.
Do you agree, though, that most agents that decide to join a team join it for that reason? They think they're going to get fed.
Well, yeah. And that's why I think that really our question is really not, should we join a team or not? I think it's a higher question than that. I think it's the whole thing needs to be overhauled, because right now people want bodies and they don't really care if they produce or don't produce. I mean, yeah, of course, sometimes, they do want them to produce because it's better for everybody, but it needs to be more structured. The barrier to entry needs to be higher. The team owners need to be, to your point, have more leadership skills. And we need to teach our real estate agents how to sell and own a business. And
if you think about it, the agents that have developed these big teams that are bringing people on, and I'm not talking about you have a very unique situation now. It hasn't always been that way. Your team has morphed over the years, correct?
Yeah.
And the way you're running parallel with Alan and is very different than how you started out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you get these agents who are successful, very good real estate agents and
they're good at their
sellers.
job.
They're good at
the work.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason they grow, they think the way they need to grow is via a team.
Right.
And so now they're changing from high driver or successful real estate agent to manager, leader.
That doesn't work a lot of times. It's not the same skill set.
In other industries too, you don't take the top salesperson and make them a sales manager.
You would never do that. That's silly.
Right. That's what's happening inside of real estate, which is why I say no to teams. I believe everyone can succeed on their own. That doesn't mean there aren't opportunities for partnerships and support of each other when it makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you aren't able to figure out how to make it on your own, you need to hire a coach, right? And figure this out so that you can
don't join a team.
Business you want, right?
But I think too, a lot of people coming in that are newly licensed, they think if I join a team, I'll learn how to do the business. But that's also, there's some flawed logic in that too, because to your point, not all teams are set up to teach their people how to feed themselves. A lot of them are set up to keep the people trapped in that position that they're in and only teach them maybe that specific job that they have. Maybe it's showing assistant or listing agent or inside sales rep or whatever, but they don't show them the rest of the industry, which I think that we need. And this is why I say, yes, they should join a team, because I think we actually need a program where they are funneled through over a few years, not 3 weeks of sitting in class, never having read the real estate contract, never opening a lockbox, or never talking about how to sell, only talking about how to pass this state and federal exam. That's ridiculous.
That we can agree on for sure. Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, I think we need to go back to our corners. What do you think?
We do too. Did we solve Apparently this is just not a problem to solve, apparently. I don't know. But
I think it's a bigger problem. Yeah, this is like turning the Titanic around and we know that it sank. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So we're going to take a short break and hear a word from our sponsor. And when we return, we'll have our final punches.
Do you have an entrepreneur mindset? Do you believe in the power of building wealth versus just selling houses? There's a new kind of business model for realtors, and you owe it to yourself to see why top agents and teams are aligning their future with the fastest growing real estate company in the world. eXp Realty, tomorrow's brokerage today. For more information or a private discussion, go to the Toe to Toe Podcast Facebook page and send a private message telling us you'd like to learn more about eXp Realty.
Welcome back. Now, before we ring the bell for the final round, let's take it to the streets, Mert. Let's take
Street
the fight to the streets. We went out to all of our favorite real estate agents and we posted this question in Lab Coat Agents, which is an amazing, massive community on Facebook of agents. And we asked them, what do you think about this? Is it a good idea or a bad idea for an agent to join a team?
What'd they say?
Surprise, surprise. It was all over the board.
Wow. All right.
I mean, we really had it depends. I would say the category was it depends. And I think they're right. I think it does depend. It depends on the leadership of the agent. It depends on the ultimate goal of the agent looking to join the team. It depends on lots of things.
There's a lot of variables for sure.
There are. And there were examples in there of agents who said, I joined a team and it was a great stepping stone for me and now I'm out on my own. Well, that's awesome. And that's exactly, in my opinion, how that should work. But the lead agents don't think of that. They want to trap the people in and hold them down and back, in my opinion. Not all, of course. I know I'm going to get some boos on this. But
yeah.
I know, but I'm right. But I know I'm right. It's not all, but I'm right. There are that is that mentality of, I don't want them to leave. They just come through here and leave. Well, that is, if you care about your people, that's what you want them to do. Serve you while they're there on your team and then fly, right?
Yeah. Was there one for no?
Yes. The no was, if you can't make it on your own, don't be dragging down a team. They were fighting. I guess that must have come from a team lead. I don't know.
All right. Well, I agree with that. I say, Monica, you ready for our final round?
Let's do it. Do it. Make your case.
All right. I'll make mine first. I say overall, yes, you should join a team as a new licensee to learn. I also agree with you that if you're going to do that, you need to talk to several teams. You need to be interviewing them. You need to have an understanding of what their program looks like. You need to have an understanding what you're going to learn based especially on what you don't know and how that's going to be accomplished and what is the end goal with that. But I also think it's okay to stay on a team. I don't think you always have to be by yourself. Like for me, I like having the team. It's lonely by yourself and I much prefer to be part of something else. So I think it's okay to stay.
I love that, but I love everything you said is not exactly what happens when agents join team in my experience and what I've seen. They don't do their due diligence. They don't.
Because they don't know what they don't know, but you can reach out to other people that do. There's enough good team owners out there that may not be in your market even that can help you with some great questions or, hey, even sit in. I mean, I wouldn't mind if one of my friends called me up and was like, hey, I'm getting my license and I want to be on a team and wherever. And can you sit in and ask some questions? And I wouldn't care if I was hiring a new agent and they had one of their friends or whoever sit in either. Wouldn't bother me one bit.
No, I think that's a good point. And
what do you think?
If your needs align with with the team leads align, and then it makes sense for that partnership.
Exactly. Do it.
I feel like people don't have to always get married at the team level. Like there's always such a marriage. Instead of running parallel, we can support each other and help each other achieve what we each need to achieve without having to commingle our lives so much that it's ugly. And as a former team leader, I watched this happen. We'd have these great new agents come in who could be successful on their own. They would get sucked into a team. The team lead would ruin everything by kind of twisting the way this agent looked at real estate or giving them a sour taste in their mouth. And the agent then would want to get off the team and would feel like they had to leave the company in order to break free because that lead agent was such a prominent figure in the brokerage. And we would lose great agents because they would spin through these little tunnel teams and come out the other end beat up as hell. And I guess maybe that's part of where my position is. And so I
think it's a lot easier to remember the bad stuff, and it's a lot more difficult to remember the ones that went fine because there's no drama. So it's just I can't think of any dramatic team member exit. I can't think of one.
I can.
You can?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
One.
I would have agents in tears in my office. I don't know. And they're
No, I meant on my team.
Oh, and your team. No, none on yours. No. Oh, that's funny. Well, my coach, Hank Evink, says, and maybe he got this from somewhere, but before you ask advice of somebody, make sure that they've either made a lot of money or lost a lot of money in that arena, and ask yourself, would you trade places with that person? So if I'm going to ask somebody if I should join a team, or I'm going to consider joining your team, it's worth a deep dive of, is that the life I want? Is this the way I want to do business?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think you don't know too. So whenever you're doing anything new, there has to be a period where you can reflect. So you try it. And the rule of thumb is for a lot of things, 3 to 4 months. And then it's okay, well, let's come back and reevaluate and see if this is still the best fit.
Yes.
Because especially when you're learning a new role or a new position, your learning curve, so much more after a few months. You're oh, I get it. It's a cold call commission sales job. Do I really want to do that?
Yes, exactly. I think that's a great idea. The automatic out at 90 days where both partners have to feel like this is absolutely what they expected, and there's no harm, no foul if it's not.
Hence the apprentice program.
Jen's little baby, the apprentice program.
It's happening.
That's right. All right. I think we're going to have to call that the end of the battle today. Do you think, our fabulous listeners, thank you for being here. Do you think there was a knockout today?
I don't think so.
Is Mertlin, I always want to be so graphic here. Is Mertlin bleeding on the mat? But
wow.
I think that's a very good.
That says more about you than me.
I know. It's horrible. Am I on the ground bleeding from the mouth? I don't know. Did she knock me out? All right, we'll keep it clean. So do us a favor. Go to our Facebook page and comment and vote. We would love to hear your feedback. Who do you think won today's toe-to-toe battle?
Thanks for listening to our Toe-to-Toe podcast, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can get updates when new episodes are available. And we truly love your feedback and would appreciate all your likes, reviews, shares, and we'd love to hear your suggestions for future topics. So go ahead and email us or go on the Toe-to-Toe Facebook page. Thanks, Monica.
All right, Jen, good stuff. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Toe-to-Toe Podcast. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you get updates when new episodes are available. And we truly love feedback and would appreciate all likes, reviews, and suggestions for future topics.